16 blocks away from the Forge Lounge.
The old Forge Lounge, yes.
The boys are back. Anyway, we got a lot of juicy information for you guys. We're going to go over the Sober September Challenge. We're going to go over the Mustache November Challenge. And we're going to introduce another challenge for you guys here in a minute.
What? Yes. Disclaimer. Trey has not been on point lately, and we are 4 months behind on our podcast.
Purely and entirely because
just
of
this
Trey.
thing over here, man. We've had a talk with him though. He's back on. He's back.
Because I've been grooming this mustache.
Grooming. You look like a hobo.
What
I
mustache?
just want the beard back.
Dude, you have to pick one or the other, dude.
Yeah, I have to agree with Rachel's staff here. Not your best look.
Ooh. Yeah. Yeah, that's not... Actually, dude... Yeah. So, shall we, boys?
We're back.
Let's hit it.
Just like the classic, we need to do a NIF.
A NIF. Forever.
Brought to you by Obsidian Ammonia, which we are now sponsors. Sponsored.
Yeah, Chance.
So if you guys want to buy any Obsidian Ammonia or any of their products, they have sweet gear too. As a Gym Forge, our product code to save you 20%. And I think shipping is free because it comes from Canada, is NIF Hard. All cap. NIF Hard. One word. Let's do it, boys.
All right.
Yes.
I've got the good one.
Ready? Shake, shake. Pank, pank.
Squeeze, squeeze.
Ooh. Oh.
Woo! Oh.
Good morning.
I don't niff it that hard when I hit my lifts, dude. Like,
No.
I hit it way harder on the
Podcast
podcast.
niffs are the best
Where
niffs.
it's Too hard.
Podcast niffs are the best.
Always
dude.
the best niffs, yeah. Watery.
Mustache still there?
Singed a little bit.
Good.
All right.
Sober September Challenge.
Was a hit. Like, we had, how many? 30-some? 33?
We had 33 people signed up for it, yeah. And I think
only 2 failed?
Yeah, 29 people or so. Yeah, about all of them stayed with it.
So,
Well, even one of the failures, I mean, he
specifically
had to make a large jump into that, right? That was kind of a big...
yeah, it was 0 to 100, but...
And then he still made it, like, was it halfway maybe?
Yeah,
I made it more than that. You know, he was like on the 20th or something.
Yeah,
like
dude.
Very end of it.
I'm
last
pretty
stretch.
sure it was like 18 to 20 days.
Still a big jump for that guy.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
For him?
And I think he kind of
huge.
continued on with November a little bit too. So
he told me that he's going to do Sober November because he wants to prove it. Because
We're halfway through. Is he actually doing it?
I don't know. I'm not sure.
I haven't followed up with him.
I really haven't. Because I just told him he couldn't, dude. After that, I was like, dude, I'm not gonna lie to you. I never thought you could. Even if you told me, I wasn't gonna believe you.
Legit lasted longer than I expected, though.
Yeah, no, he did great.
Because he had a show. That's when he kind of caved.
And we had the cool thing is like I could see how people were performing better in the gym during that month. Aesthetically, dude, my clients, I could see the difference in just how they look, less bloated, just more alert. Obviously, their performance goes up. And they were telling us that they felt better. And they were replacing that time on the weekends with, like, projects around the house, like a Tessa. You know, like redoing her closets and kitchens and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's like, cool. That's awesome. That's badass.
That's the whole reason we did it, right?
Right?
Just kind
It's
of
like,
realize what that's doing and the positive that you got out of it.
Right.
Count one.
And I mean, 10 times harder if you own a winery.
Yes. Right? So hence the winners.
Yeah. So there was some criticism in the gym that our winners weren't even from Wyoming.
Not even locals.
Not
from
even
the
locals.
Worst of the states.
Dude.
Sorry, but
yeah. But that being said, owning a winery, you know, you're distributing, you know, whiskey, wine all the time you're around it. How does that not become a part of your daily routine?
Yeah, it's literally
like what good wine owner doesn't taste his own brew, dude? Like, it's not crack. I mean, you can get high on your own supply in the wine thing, so.
Yeah. But yeah, our winners are, I have 2 distance clients that I worked with before I moved back to Wyoming from California, Andy and Sarah Wall.
Gangsta Andy and Sarah?
Yeah. Two strong members of the Forge fleet.
Fun fact, We built them. I built them.
Our first
long distance squat rack that they use when they train with Michael every Tuesday.
Twice a week with Sarah, and then Andy's like a programming client, but they train out of their garage. We bought a rack from us. We put Andy owns the company Ammunition Wines, customized his rack, put Ammunition Wines on the top. Yeah. And those shoes have been crushing PRs ever since because they were still in lockdown. Hence, they wanted a rack for their garage. And
so we got them a rack, a barbell, and a bench, pretty much the basics. They bought their own weights, and we went from there.
Yeah.
And getting that rack to California
was a pain.
Yeah, that's a hefty thing to load into the back of a semi with two.
Yeah. The pallet that we put it on, was I think 500 pounds.
Yeah.
And we picked it up and destroyed our welding table that we had created. Homemade welding table.
Gone.
All the wheels, all the screws loose, all hack squat. Yeah, it was a mess.
Yep.
But we got it on the truck, and then we shipped it off. And those guys have been crushing it using that rack ever since. No gym membership, just working out there. Andy and Sarah both decided to jump onto the challenge. And it's pretty cool. They both lost weight.
Which is huge, right?
Oh, yeah. It's cool. Yeah, because they own the winery. And then doing it as a couple, I think that helped them too. But both of them crushed some deadlift PRs while they're on the Sober September. Sarah got a 200-pound deadlift. Before I started training with her virtually, never lifted a barbell in her life. Never even deadlifted.
Sarah?
So ripped a 200-pound deadlift. And Andy, who was like I said, worked with him before I moved back to Wyoming, was actually an ACL rehab client. We used, obviously, deadlifts and things like that, compounds lifts, as he got farther along in his rehab. And then got into kind of powerlifting, really.
He's chasing that 405 right now.
Yeah,
right?
and he pulled 300 easy when he was doing the Sober September.
Dang.
So now he's actually done that. He could do that easily way more now. But so they both got deadlift PRs. Sarah lost, I think, like 6 pounds in that month.
Sick.
So the discipline of being able to do that while you own a winery, while that's part of your job, and then being the spouse of somebody that does that.
That's huge, dude.
And Sarah was telling me
6 pounds in a month, dude. That's really good weight, dude. That's 4 weeks.
Yeah,
that's like 1.5 pounds a week.
Yeah, no, Sarah and I have talked about it a lot, and it's been a challenge too because it's like their friends, their family, they're known as people that own a winery, right? So it's like. People like ostracize. People are ostracized. Like, oh, tell us when you're done, with the challenge, so we can hang out with you again.
That's bullshit.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, no, like they were getting like.
You need new friends, Sarah and Andy.
Yeah.
Move to Wyoming.
So yeah, they both did really well. They both like stuck with it. Sarah's actually continued on into November, and she wants to go all the way in December.
What a stud!
No, Sarah, and she continues to lose weight, and she's just feeling good, getting stronger every week.
Oh yeah, and you, Andy, have you continued?
Andy went to Ireland because.
Okay.
So he had some Irish whiskey there. Yeah.
Okay. I don't blame you at all.
I don't think.
Yeah, honestly, like different country.
Yeah, you're not
zip code. Yeah, different area code. Yeah,
it's like what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. Yeah.
Yeah.
But he has, and they both have like. So even Andy, if he has some here and there, because he actually has to sample the wine here and there, and he'll have outings with it. But his frequency and how much, like, the gym now is such a big part of his life. Like, he's not overdoing it. He's not just drinking on the weekend just because. Yeah. So they both have really dialed back the reins a ton as far as their alcohol.
And I would say that the runner-up, right, Atessa.
Yeah.
And Brian, they were.
Yeah, that was
Atessa and her husband Brian. He's not even a client here.
Workout client. Yeah.
But they were pretty. I don't want to say heavy drinkers, but they drank frequently.
Like party.
And she'd probably say it though.
Yeah, no, she
we
definitely
don't want to say it,
but they stopped. Right, her and her husband. Her husband said, "If you're gonna do it, I'm gonna do it too." Mm-hmm. They killed it, man. They went on hikes. Like they felt better. And the thing that's weird now, dude, is the frequency has dialed back because now when she drinks, she feels like crap.
Oh yeah, and then
right?
you're aware of it, right?
It got out of that rhythm, that pattern, so she's not used to it anymore. So she can't drink as much, right?
Yeah.
So that was pretty cool.
Taking that jump,
yeah,
and then you start to realize and see things differently.
Yeah,
you have a little more control over it.
You're just more aware. It's such a normal drinking all the time, how you feel. It's like you're kind of used to this lull or low state of kind of having alcohol that frequently. And then when you don't, you're like, holy crap, there's a big difference.
Yeah, the one thing that stood out for me was Brian was saying that his sleep improved.
Yep.
Right, he felt way better in the mornings.
Yeah.
So probably actually getting some sleep, Brian and Tessa, because alcohol does impede that REM cycle.
Oh, 100%.
Right?
Yeah, you're not recovering well. So we're super stoked, super proud of you guys. Like, we're honestly kind of overwhelmed like how well people did.
Yeah, it's like the hard thing is with that is that kind of challenge is there's two different sides of commitment and discipline of that. This challenge could be huge for some people and it could be small for other people, right? Mm-hmm. And no one wants to be the guy that can't go out and drink with the boys or kick one back after work or have that wine with the ladies, at their get-togethers. Being able to say no takes a lot of discipline, right? No matter how big or small it is.
Yeah.
So we're stoked. Like, as everybody in here, we're proud of everyone who did it. But the next challenge that we did was, it wasn't really a challenge. It was just for the boys here.
It's probably like a medical necessity, if anything.
Yes, seriously.
It wasn't really a challenge. It was just like, look at my blood pressure.
Yeah. No, Mustache March.
Oh,
or November.
Sorry, we were talking about
that.
Yeah,
the beards were a problem.
Yeah.
It's for our health.
Beards and blood pressure, they both start with B's.
Go hand in hand.
Yeah.
But
Movember,
dude.
Yeah.
We decided that, I don't know where it came from. I think Trey and I were talking about it, and Trey just a week before November even started, showed up with a mustache.
Yeah.
With almost instant regret.
The minute I exposed my chin, it was like,
what chin, dude?
I know, dude. There's no chin.
You were just bottom lip.
Yeah.
That's all you
That's
are.
all I was watching the video. It's still November, and
yeah.
it's not much of a mustache.
I'm done, dude.
He's got this hybrid of beard and
I've had
mustache.
it. I've had
He
it.
was homeless.
I couldn't do it.
It's still better than no beard.
Yeah.
Weird, yeah.
It feels better.
But we decided we were all going to do mustaches. We didn't really throw it out to anything. And the cool thing was, and the thing I loved was, all of a sudden the guys that our clients that are coming to Forge are coming in with mustaches. We got old Ray, 73 years old, growing a stash. We've got JB. He threw the handlebars on, dude. The handlebars were great.
It's a good look.
That was my mistake. I should never have shaved the bars, dude.
You did,
Next time I go full
think so?
stash, I think so, man.
Yeah.
The Hulk.
This is professional.
Yeah.
But the Hulk fits me.
That's
man.
not enough. You need more.
I need more.
Yeah.
Keenan
JB,
was rocking his.
Keenan always got a stash.
I mean, that's life.
That's Keenan.
And then
Yeah.
Big T. I mean, he's
T
part
had
of the
a
group,
gorgeous,
obviously.
Gorgeous. I hope he keeps it.
Yeah,
he looks so good.
Dude, Big T in that stash. Holy smokes.
Yeah.
Talk about Tom Selleck.
Oh, Christ.
Yeah.
How are you going to be 7 foot tall and look just gorgeous?
Yeah. Just the manliest of men.
It's a shame he hasn't always had that.
But the cool thing is, dude, is that's like a culture, right? We didn't throw that in anybody's face. Like, hey, dude, you should really have a mustache. Come on, dude. It was just like, oh, these guys are rocking mustaches? Yeah. I'll rock a stash.
Yeah.
And, we were going to have a vote that had the best stash between the boys. But I think, dude, the winner, hands down, in my mind, has got to be Chris.
Chris.
I love Chris.
The man.
Is it nodal or canodal?
I'm not sure.
And something, but I don't think it's silent.
Is it silent like night?
Chris Nodal.
Chris rocked the stash.
He did.
I mean, he got a slower start on it.
Yeah.
Right? I think he started growing it the first week of November.
He did.
About now, that stash is coming out in its prime. You walk in here and the sun would hit it just right that I could see it. But now that stash is magnificent. So, Chris, if you listen to the podcast, we're gonna hook you up with a free hat or shirt. Your choice.
My man.
You got the Mustache November and the Movember award. So
Yeah, and we're all rooting for you that you beat Trey to that 315 bench.
Right, you're going down, Chris.
dude, I don't know, man. Once you start growing that beard back,
Yeah.
He's
well,
going
and now that he's got the stash, it's really starting to scare me.
Does get
He's
you.
got the stash power.
and he's looking big, dude.
Yeah.
I mean, barn door back.
Yeah.
That guy's putting me to shame.
Yeah.
He's crushing
It's
it.
looking good.
Doing well, Chris.
But that's so cool, man. It's culture, right? That's what I've always wanted with a gym, right? It's not that we're a cult or anything. It's just like, dude, it's kind of fun to push yourself and do something out of the ordinary like that.
Yeah.
Like don't fit in with normality, right?
Yeah.
Well,
So-
everything you guys are doing is against the norm, right? Not drinking, getting a weird looking mustache.
Yeah.
We love that though, because it's like,
Exposing the chin.
Dude,
Oh yeah, maybe you shouldn't, but
That's definitely not normal.
Yeah.
That's like not a good.
Yeah. So far the other direction.
Yeah.
Stop.
Yeah, you kind of went off the deep end there.
I did.
Yeah.
I jumped the gun.
But sweet. And then, in the past 8 weeks, if you guys have been following us or pay attention to Mike and I's Instagram, or even Peak Physique, you could see that the last 8 weeks that we have done our own little challenge, and it was just kind of to prove to ourselves. I don't know, Mike, why did you want to drop?
oh, that's what I meant,
weight?
like health-wise. I just
Yeah.
felt like I was 280 pounds, and it was great because it's like I'm a power lifter. My primary focus is my numbers, my strength. But it got to the point, I think, where my sleep was affected, my mental state, my energy, blood pressure wasn't the best.
Yeah.
So, we're going to have waves and times you're going to sacrifice maybe some of that stuff because you're trying to push it.
Yeah.
Because, like, you're prioritizing strength. But there also has to be, like, seasons where you dial it back. And I thought, at that point, being that heavy for that long,
And
I didn't feel like I was...
no foreseeable meat right now.
Yeah,
in the
we had no
future.
meat lined up. We did our meet back in Billings, so it's like we got that off. We got some cool PRs, but I just I'm kind of just spinning my wheels, and
Yeah.
I didn't feel like I needed to gain any more weight.
And I would argue at a certain point, weight doesn't move weight anymore.
No,
It
I
just
think a lot of that
slows
was
you down, dude.
just fluff.
Like
Yeah.
it does make weight more comfortable to move, right?
Yeah.
Because you got the extra cushion to kind of bounce out of the bottom of the hole, and if you can get maybe a better position in a sumo deadlift with your belly hanging to the floor, but I don't have the mobility for that, so it was just terrible.
Yeah, and it just I think your recovery's not even great. You're just kind of this chronically bloated state. It just
And
didn't
just
feel good.
mental fog,
Yeah.
man. It's like
Even just for the sake of mental clarity,
Yeah.
just change up your rhythm.
My
a little
energy
bit.
was off, so like Chance said, we didn't have any foreseeable meets, and I just was like, I'm going to dial it back a bit.
How did you go about it? Like what steps did you take?
Yeah.
Because I think yours different a little bit from mine.
Yeah, yours was, and we'll talk about yours in a minute, was very dialed in. Mine was just kind of following old principles I've had before. I kept mine a little more basic. Chancellor definitely dove farther into his cut than I did.
Yeah.
I wasn't planning on necessarily getting as lean as he did, so I just wanted LBs off. I wanted to lose some weight. So I've had kind of a tried and true strategy before where I have my protein set, my macros. I kind of knew where my baseline was as far as how many calories, and I just dialed it back, kept it simple.
And he took a lot of what Trey and I like to call mystery tours. That's because if you ever watch Michael walk, there's no sense of purpose. Like
Oh,
there's
my
so it's
little
always like a mystery adventure. I call it maybe a saunter.
Or
Maybe.
a bimble.
A bimble. He bimbled around.
He bimbles around all day. We don't really know what he's doing.
So you were doing your 10-minute walks, right? Your bimbles.
I was trying to walk a little
your
bit,
mystery
get
tours.
momentum. That was my form of cardio.
Yeah.
Exploring shit.
At least twice a day. Where's Michael? Mystery tour.
Yeah.
I think some of my clients saw me just like waddling in slow motion.
Just covered in sweat.
And he'd come back and he'd be like, "There's all these things around town I've never seen before.
Oh yeah.
know.
Oh no, it was bad.
All kinds of new discoveries."
That was gross. It's like I was a walk and I'm just sweating. And I was like, I gotta change my shirt before the next client.
Dude,
it's
I
like
know.
you're walking, right?
I mean, if you
looked
can
like I was
call it a
sprinting.
walk, dude.
Yeah.
Always slow motion.
It was so slow.
Yeah.
He was
yeah.
moving though.
It was
Yeah.
moving.
But I was technically moving.
Yeah.
280 pounds, though. Come on now.
It's a lot of weight.
That
That's
takes
like,
a lot.
You guys throw like 2 45-pound plates on your back and walk with it. That's what it felt like.
Yeah.
You're doing farmer carries all around town.
Just on my body. But yeah, I did that for the first part. I didn't do that all the way through, but I definitely wanted to. I was feeling so sluggish, just like move more, walk more. I mean, that is technically burning some calories, but
Yeah.
and it kind of helped me not want to eat in that hour. It's like I'll go for a walk, and I chugged a lot of water. I think one little trick that I use is like if I want to feel really full. And it's actually good, just get your hydration up, is chugging water. I was trying to drink almost like a gallon of water every day. Man, you are not hungry after chugging like all that water.
No way, yeah.
So it really does curb the hunger quite a bit. And then, I was really not super strict, but I was just like, I had a lot of meal prep. I kind of had my calorie goal set. And I just, whenever I was stalling in my weight, I just dropped the carbs a little bit. But it was pretty simple, really basic, and it just like worked really well. Because like I've had this tried and true strategy.
Man.
I've like done this so many times. I was like, if I want to lose weight, I know what to do.
That's
Boom,
literally
followed
the
it.
approach I tell every client, right? Is exactly what you did. Mine was a little different this time, but that's what I tell everybody. Track your calories, right? Track your calories. Oh, well, I eat pretty good. You have no idea what you're eating.
you don't know.
No, I know what I eat. No, you don't.
No.
I'm telling you that right now.
Yeah.
Track everything you put in your mouth. I don't care if it's a piece of gum. Put it in MyFitnessPal.
Oh, it's eye-opening. You can
Right?
actually see how many
Because
calories it is.
people have no idea how much their coffee creamer adds to their, their calorie intake.
Yeah.
So you don't know what you eat until you track it.
Yeah.
Right? And I would say the biggest part to start is to track what you're eating right now. Not
sure.
track what you're eating trying to eat better. Track where you're at right now, maintaining your weight or wherever you're gaining, or you need to see what you're eating on a normal day-to-day thing without any change in your plan.
Yeah.
Right? Because that needs to be the eye-opener.
Yeah.
Yep.
Right?
That's step one for sure. So yeah, mine was just an old tried and true strategy, but Chancellor actually got some coaching and was working with Trey's wife, and he really dialed it in to the next level.
So I saw Michael was, cutting up a little bit, and there's, sometimes when I look in the mirror, I wasn't too excited about what I saw, so I decided I probably should too, and initially it was just to lose a few pounds.
Yeah, same.
Right? I wasn't going to dive as deep as I did, and honestly, I could have gone deeper with my cut, right?
Yeah.
But I started a little bit before I started working with Rachel. I started working with Rachel 2 weeks into my cut.
Yeah, pretty early.
And the main focus was she wanted to do some powerlifting too, and we were just going to trade training sessions for some nutrition advice.
Yeah.
And it worked out great, right? Because she's an amazing coach. She knows what she's doing nutritionally.
Yeah.
Right? So I was like, okay, let's do this. So I already lost at that point 2-3 weeks of cutting. I'd already lost like 12 pounds just doing exactly what Michael said.
Cleaning
upping my protein, cutting my carbs back, just cleaning up what I'm eating, and then just making sure I eat, right? So one thing that's huge is I had to have a plan, because usually I would just eat whenever I could and a lot of it.
Yeah, just
right.
random
If it was
garbage.
2 meals a day, I was having all my protein in 2 meals a day, which your body can only take in like 40 grams of that protein.
It wasn't efficient.
Right?
Yeah.
It's not efficient. It's not great for muscle building. I mean, calorie and energy wise, it was there, and I was on fire with my lifts. I felt great. But like you said, sleep was trash. Like I literally got a CPAP because I got so fat. Like, I'm not kidding you.
Yeah.
I had a CPAP because my apnea got bad, because I have a little bit of apnea all the time.
Oh yeah, I did too.
But with
Yeah.
more weight, dude, snoring was bad. I seriously stopped breathing. Like I just remember like getting woke up by Kylie all the time. Like,
Oh yeah.
hey, what are you doing? I'm like, what?
If
You
I
stopped breathing.
if I sat in a chair that was too
You're old man.
reclined.
Oh yeah, dude.
no.
I was having a great sleep. I was like on the brink of death right there.
Oh yeah. No, if we were sitting in our chairs, like our couch is too reclined, Chancellor, we're both like,
Yeah.
oh, God. And you're like awake. You're like, I just can't
And
breathe.
you know it's bad when you start snoring when your face is down.
Yeah,
Right? Like
yeah.
if your head down, you shouldn't be snoring, right? Because everything kind of relaxed. When you're so fat, you're snoring on your belly. Bad news. That's terrible, right?
Yeah.
So that's why I wanted, because like my sleep was bad, my energy was crap. I wasn't happy with the way I looked, because it's like, dude, we can lift like elite lifts, and I don't look like an athlete. I just look like. And you guys never told me I look so thick, dude. Like, none of my clients said, we're like, Chancellor, you're one sandwich away from being a fat ass. Like, no one ever said that to me. They just let me happily bimble around
You know,
here.
the only one that was honest with us was Jeff.
Jeff
was pretty honest.
Jeff told me I was getting fat.
Yeah, he's like, you playing Santa Claus this Christmas, Mike?
Yeah, seriously.
Did he say that?
When I was talking to him
Yeah,
about
like-
losing weight, he's like, dude, I'm just not going to lie. It's like taking advice from a dentist with bad teeth. So
We
that
appreciate
was the
that,
only one, and
yeah.
I just thought maybe Jeff, you know how Jeff is.
Yeah.
I guess I just blocked it out. Dude. Like, and then, like,
Whatever,
handle
Jeff.
it. So 6 weeks in, I started working with Rachel, right? And what we found out was that I was eating a lot of fat.
Oh yeah.
Like 120 plus grams a day. Like maybe 150 plus.
Probably yeah.
Like, because I was eating a lot of steak.
Yep.
I was eating a lot of, like, fries. Even on my cut, right? Like sweet potato fries.
Yeah.
And what we found was I had cut my carbs back pretty hard for the first few weeks of that cut before Rachel, and my performance wasn't great in the gym, right? I didn't have the energy. I just was kind of felt empty. I couldn't really get a pump, like I just didn't feel full. But what she did is she actually bumped up my carbohydrates, right, and reduced my fat. because carbs is what's going to propel me through my workout, right? It's more performance side things. My protein still stayed high. I mean, that's not hard for me to eat like a gram plus body weight, 250 grams a day.
Easy, yeah.
Easily, no problem. So when she bumped up my carbs and cut back my fat, I just started shedding the weight, dude. Like 2 pounds a week, pound a week. I think right up until the last 4 days, I kind of plateaued about 213, right? So I think it was right around then when she cut me back from my peak, where she just kind of peaked my diet. She cut me 1,000 calories, made sure my meal timing was on point, like that I had to eat every 3 hours, hitting my protein, hitting my carbs, keeping my fat low, and 2,000 calories is nothing, dude.
Yeah.
But I got below that 213 to 207, which was, at that point, the leanness, I could have gone another couple weeks and probably been the leanest I'd ever been.
Yeah.
Right? I think what the thing that surprised me was prior to this, just doing what, Mike and I are good at, I was at 173 pounds, which is tiny.
Like your old cut,
my old cut, right? The oldest, leanest I've ever been was 173 pounds.
Yeah.
This time, I think I tied that lean maybe a little bit less. There might
Close
have
to
been. I was really close to that lean.
A couple weeks
at
away.
207. That's like a 40-pound difference, dude.
Yeah.
With more muscle mass.
Now, how heavy were you at the peak of your fatness?
239.
239?
Yeah.
Okay.
So.
We're 30 pounds lost.
Yeah.
And, a big portion of why I wanted to do it was, at first, initially, it was the health, but two is like, I wanted to show you guys that we can do both.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And I didn't do any cardio. I didn't even walk, man.
Yeah.
Nothing. I didn't step on a treadmill. I mean, the cardio that I did was probably just lifting weights faster. I utilized the sled that we built quite a bit. But that was more just trying to pump up my quads, right? That was more muscle work than it was like me going out for a jog.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, we've said this before, was cardio is a great tool for putting yourself in a deficit in the day. But when you're done with cardio, you're done burning calories, right? That's what people need to understand is cardio is for your heart. It's not for aesthetics and making you jacked and having good muscle tone.
No.
Because if anything, that's going to fight against that.
Yeah, you overdo it.
You aren't going to keep your muscle mass if you're running all the time and doing all that. So weightlifting is king when you want to look aesthetic, and nobody in this community is showing that.
Yeah.
So that became my goal, was like, I wanted to show people that, hey, you don't need to do cardio or go on keto or fast or do one of these bullshit fad diets, and you can still cut down and look great. What did it take? Discipline and commitment. You committed to something and you followed it. I seriously did not have, I ate the same meals with Rachel for 6 weeks. I didn't deviate one time. Nothing. I turned down going out to dinner. I turned down my dad's cooking. Do you know how hard it is to turn down Troy Boy's cooking, dude?
Yeah.
Dude, my dad didn't see me for 6 weeks because I couldn't get in the house.
What did he say when you're finally done? I have my son back.
He's like, done with your cook. Yeah, I miss you, man.
I miss my son.
I was that guy that, for my stepbrother's birthday, my dad cooked a steak dinner. Steak was on my diet, but all the fixings weren't. So I brought my own rice cup and sweet potato fries.
Yeah.
Because I'm that guy now. And my food scale, right? I weighed everything out. And I still do. I mean, it just becomes a habit now because I want to know what's going in.
Yeah.
Right? I can't just have this vague guess of, that looks like 6 ounces, because one thing you'll learn is not all 6 ounces looks like 6 ounces.
Yeah.
6 ounces of steak versus 6 ounces of yogurt, huge difference.
Oh, yeah.
Right? So,
Yeah.
but yeah, it just took commitment and discipline, right? And, I think I kind of want to go on a little rant about commitment and discipline. Right?
Send it.
I can't think of one thing that we have or that we want in our life that didn't require either of those, commitment and discipline. So when we're thinking about Sober September, we had a lot of people who committed and killed it and crushed it, but we also had people that failed, and we had people that just didn't want to do it at all, which is their life. Cool.
Yeah.
One thing you need to think about is that if you're going to commit to something, for the people that failed, you need to give it 100% effort. right? Because if you can't cut out alcohol for 1 month, that is one thing in life you can easily go without.
Oh, yeah.
Right? It might be huge for you, like that guy, 0 to 100. Might be huge for you to cut that out. A lot of discipline there. But if you can't do that, how does that transfer into your goals? Like, how are you going to go forward past that?
Well, then realize why can't you cut that out for a month? It's
Yeah.
like, if that's not a red flag that might be a problem for you in one way or another, it's like 1 month of your entire life, it's a big no from you.
Yeah.
Why is that? Like, is there something that you're attached to, or what is that doing for you? What void is that filling?
No.
But yeah, no, I think that's what you're kind of saying, though, is like, if you're not that committed to doing something where you can't do it for a month,
Don't commit to something. If you're going to commit for one time in your life, do it.
It's either like hell yes or hell
Do
no.
what you say you're going to do. That's the huge key here, right? Don't go in there with this half-ass mentality of like, yeah, I think I can do this and blah, blah. No, just
hell
send
yes,
it.
hell no.
Yeah.
Either way.
It's cut and dry, right? Black and white. If you commit to something, give it your full effort. And for the people that looked at this challenge and was like, that's not for me, or I can't do it, like this was the most common one. I can't do it this month because I have this coming up, or this coming up. There's this one day that I can't do it. Remember, if you wait forever for you to start when everything lines up and the stars align, everything's convenient.
Never happen.
It's never going to happen.
There's always that one thing.
Well, even Andy, the one that won the Sober September, his birthday was in September. So they waited till after September to like celebrate his, like he had to drink, Sarah did, but like they celebrated his birthday after Sober September because they're like, everyone's going to have some time, some excuse in this time where it's like, no, I can't because this day of this month, which is one day of 30, one night of 30, and you have to say no to the whole challenge, all the benefits, all the gains.
It's like that bullshit New Year's resolution.
I
It's
hate
like,
those.
I will start this when this chapter starts. Your life is not this book with chapters. It's just this continuous story, right? You have to decide what goes on in this story. I think for me that waiting for something to happen, right, is this extrinsic motivation. You're never going to have the extrinsic motivation to propel you forward. There's going to be adversity. Expect it. There's going to be those days where you want to drink. There's going to be something or someone out there that wants you to fail whatever you committed to. But you're going to have the discipline to say no.
Yeah.
Right? And have your own goals. Because at the end of the day, it's setting you apart. Do you want to be like everybody else out there? Come on. It takes a little bit more courage to do that.
Yeah.
But that's the end of my rant. My whole thing was if you're going to commit something, just have 100%.
Yeah.
Go 110. Like, for the people that fail, I'm glad that you tried. But the people that pass this test really set themselves apart in my eyes.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Because they actually did what they said they were going to do. And they did it, and they killed it. They executed. Right? They didn't tremble and falter. They were steadfast in their approach, right? They believed in something, and they were just going to get it done. They worked towards that goal. That's huge.
Yeah.
Because you can take that anywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like, if people out there that they want to work on this commitment and discipline, start somewhere. Start with something stupid like making your bed every morning.
Yeah.
Something that doesn't offer a monetary value.
Yeah.
Because I think the monetary value can sometimes dilute the whole idea behind it, right? Because you want the feeling of accomplishment and the pride of getting something done that you committed. That pays off 10 times more than the $200 you're going to win or the $50 or the free t-shirt.
Well, and the money's not always going to be there.
Yeah.
That's that external validation that you're looking for. Get it inwardly.
Yeah.
That's what you need.
I would say 90% of the time the money's not going to be there.
Yeah.
Do you think it's like when Michael and I wanted to start Forge, we were just thinking about, oh yeah, dude, we're going to make so much money? No, hell no. It's like the late nights in the shop building equipment and 55-hour a week workload. That's not what we're thinking about.
No.
So every challenge is going to have that, right?
Yeah.
You just have to stay committed and trust the process, and that's what I did. And thank God Rachel was there to kind of, there was times I questioned her, like, I don't know, do you want me to eat like 3,000 calories a day, and 300 plus carbs a day? That sounds like a lot. But guess what? I just trusted the process. I did it. I started losing weight. And like I said, I wanted to show everybody that you can do it without cardio, right? You don't need a HIIT class. You don't need a workout of the day to get nice and aesthetic, right?
No.
You can come in, and I lifted just like I coach all of you guys, right? And you know what? I probably lifted less than I coach all of you guys. You guys probably do more than me.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Because, I don't know, I want to push you guys. And it's easier for me to push you than it is for me to push myself.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So, another big part of these challenges is having a group of people that do them with you, right? For me, even though Mike wasn't really my competition, Mike was a big driver of why I wanted to lose weight, because it's like, you can't let Mike look better than me. Screw that.
Can't be the fat guy in the gym.
Fat guy,
We're
man.
both fat guys. I can't be the only
So
fat guy.
it's like, when Mike starts looking good, I'm going to start looking good. When Mike starts getting strong, I'm going to get strong again.
Yeah.
You know, it's like champions come in groups of 2 or teams.
Yeah.
Right? So they push each other. They hold each other accountable. That's probably why Sarah and Andy did so well in theirs.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
For sure.
There's not one guy that's, Andy didn't just go home and just crack a beer or drink some wine in front of Sarah every night. Like,
No, they're in it
look at
together.
this.
Yeah.
Find those people and surround yourself with them.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So we have decided that there's going to be a challenges coming up, right? And this is not for the faint of heart, right? This is not for someone who is half-assed going to commit to this.
This is dialing up.
This
from
is
the start of
dialing it
September.
in. We're not waiting until the first of the year to get this shit going, right? We are going to start December 1st, right? It's going to be an 8-week challenge, right? This is going to have a monetary reward. Because it's something we want you guys to buy into. Because one, I think it's going to have people that maybe are on the fence, maybe push them because maybe this will help. But it's going to start December 1st, and it's just, the Forge, I don't even know what to call it. What would we call this? Just the Forge Trials, I don't know. 8 weeks.
Trial by fire.
Trial by fire, man. Forged in YO challenge.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's terrible.
We'll figure that out. We'll
Yeah.
have an official
We'll iron
title
that out,
Sunday.
yeah.
But the whole point of the challenge is kind of piggybacking off what Chancellor and I just did. Also on the Tales of Sober September is a diet challenge for 8 weeks. Trying to do that, not necessarily transformation, but how do we learn and develop the discipline of what Chancellor and I did is tracking your food, tracking your calories.
Tracking
and
your weight.
Tracking your weight.
We're going to add things that aren't diet associated with your diet too. Like we might have you, take a progress pick every weekend on a day. That might be one of the challenges. And how it's going to look is we're going to give you log sheets for you to enter things, and then we're going to drop tips and show you how you use MyFitnessPal, how you track the calories, how you should be weighing your food, checking what it looks like on the nutrition serving sizes and stuff like that.
Yep. Every tool that we've had and we've used, we're going to give to you guys and kind of lay it out in a step-by-step progress. And we want you guys, we'll be there. And part of it is we're going to help coach you through it.
Yeah.
As a group, as a Forge crew that want to go through it together. We're going to be there for questions. We're going to be there for you to hold accountable as far as checking in, weighing in. And I think we're deciding, I guess, like Chancellor said, there's a little buy-in to it.
Yeah.
I don't know, what are we thinking for that? Do we decide that yet, or
We haven't decided that yet.
we'll announce that
It'll
probably
be
next
like
week.
10,
it won't be
$20,
anything crazy.
right? No.
And then all of that money, none of that will go to Forge. All of that will go to the winner of the challenge,
or the winners.
Winners, yeah.
Right.
That's how that works.
At the end of the day, this challenge is about aesthetics,
Yeah.
and discipline, right? Going day to day, because the thing is if you want to achieve what Michael and I did in that short period of time, it's too short for you to be
Dicking around, yeah, just
right?
winging it, right?
You've got to be killing it every single day.
Yeah.
One day is going to make the difference is if you lost a pound that week or you stayed the same.
Yeah, no cheating. I
Yeah.
think along with Sober September, alcohol is not going to obviously want to really be in that equation.
Yeah, I mean, we're not going to rule against it right
But
now.
it's gonna be
maybe
zero
one of the
room.
weeks it will be, but right now to start, it's not going to be against it. So maybe you can add it. But I will tell you what, if you drink, you're putting yourself in a disadvantage here.
Yeah.
Because it's not going to help you lose weight or look better.
No. And we'll talk about if you are going to, like, how to account for that. But, you know, this is the time of year where everyone still is like, I want to wait till January, da-da-da. It's like, that's where we're like, screw that, start now.
Yeah.
I don't care that, you know, Christmas is coming
I
up
have to
and
drink
there's
on
New
Christmas.
Year's.
That's one day.
Yeah.
No, you don't.
No.
Why can't you say no for one day?
Yeah. Yeah,
Seriously.
like what we were saying earlier, like if there's 1 or 2 days of this month, then you're going to deny the whole challenge, all the progress you could be making those other 28 or 30. Even we'll talk about even how to handle like holidays and things like
That's
that.
expected adversity. That's not even a surprise. You know that's coming.
That's
Plan
coming,
for it.
That's coming every month.
Have a strategy. Have a battle plan. You know,
and we're gonna
War
lay
game.
that, and we want to lay that out too, because there's definitely, you know, aside from Christmas, other holidays. It's America. There's like a holiday every month, right?
Yeah.
Reasons to pig out all the time.
Yeah.
So we're gonna help you, give you guys a strategy. How do you handle that? How do you can you still have those events come up and still continue on your goals?
Yeah.
But we're not going to wait till January like everybody else says. The Forge Tree is going to be like a month ahead. We're not going to wait for like a New Year's resolution. We're starting December
I hate
1st.
New Year's resolutions.
No, because why not start now? Always.
Yeah.
Whatever goal, whatever it is, it's like you don't have to wait for a month
That's
or
what
for
I did with
the
the
right.
gym, dude. You know that.
Starting it in COVID, it's like
Starting
let's
in
wait
COVID.
to see how the economy or
No.
until the lifts and you know like, oh no, gyms are open. We're like, screw that, we're going to open a gym.
Now,
you know,
now
it's
is
like,
the time.
yeah, you can't train.
If I can make it work right now, I can make it work when the stars align, which will never happen. But when the stars align, I'm ready because I went and waded through the mud. You know, now I'm on the high ground.
Yeah.
Yep.
If you can start it when everyone else has an excuse, that also too gives you that mental fortitude to know it's like, you know, I have the discipline, I have what it takes, because I'm not going to let something like that stop me, or I'm not going to do what everybody else does.
And that's what it means to be a part of Forge. Come on now. You guys are a higher standard of athlete, of trainee clients, right? You guys are putting your health first. You're investing into yourself. Why go blow all the progress, you know, blow your goals off, come in here, go through the motions, you know, like if you're not giving it a full ass, what are you doing in here?
Yeah,
it's
no half-ass.
You know, we know that training gets expensive. Make it pay for itself. Show that you made a difference, right?
Yeah.
Don't just come in here and stay the same, remain the same forever.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what half the other gyms in town look like. There's people that go to these gyms for 6 years, they don't make a difference because they don't have the discipline to do what it is needed outside of this.
Yeah.
We can't out-train your shitty diet. We can't out-train your shitty alcohol drinking.
Yeah,
right?
that's something Chancellor preaches over and over, right? We'll tell that when people are struggling with results, it's like, we've said this over and over, but you cannot out-train a shitty diet.
Nope.
And I know all of you, like everybody I've seen here is trained their ass off, working really hard.
Yeah, you guys are killing it.
And I think this is the piece that we realize is like, and I've noticed in my own training that really makes the difference.
Huge.
This is what I mean, you're in here for an hour, a couple hours a week. There's, you know, days and hours, 23 hours the rest of the day that you need to be recovering and fueling your body. And the reason some of you, I think, are stalling or not seeing the results you want is because of this piece.
Yeah.
And we want this to be worth it. We know you're investing a lot of time, energy, money, and you are like committed to these goals, but we need to dial in this last piece so you really get the results and the best bang for your buck.
And don't be scared. Here's the biggest thing for me when I think about cutting, I think about losing strength. It's not going to happen if you do it the right way. I was able to maintain 90% of my all-time bests at 40 pounds lighter, right? Yeah. And now I'm PRing, still 40 pounds lighter.
Yeah.
Right? So you're not going to lose strength. Don't be scared about that. We know how to get you doing the right way. When people lose a lot of strength, it's because their training goes to crap. Well, your guys' won't because you guys are with us.
Yep.
And two, they're not cutting correctly. They're doing way too much cardio. They're doing way too much food. Yeah, they're doing too much food out of their diet. They're drastically changing what they can, and that's not sustainable.
Nope.
The way that we're going to show you is something that you can sustain, hopefully past these 8 weeks too.
Yeah, we want, like we said, we're going to give you a plan, give you all the tools, and these tools are something you're going to use after this challenge too.
Yeah.
And we'll talk about that, but there's like, this is something you'll have in your back pocket as a strategy to gain weight, even on the other side of losing weight and gain weight. You can use these strategies, these methods, this technique to like whatever goal is, but once you've dialed in that training, it's just a simple equation of what you want.
They're tried and true. Michael and I are the exact reason why we wanted to do this. We've been talking about this challenge for a while and how to go about it, but we're not going to put you guys through something that we haven't already done ourselves.
That's why we did it first,
right?
Yeah.
And think about that. What other trainer in town looks that much different, right? Do you guys know any other trainer in town that has bloated up to being super fat so they can be super strong and then cuts back, maintains strength, and looks aesthetic?
Yeah, we both lost 30 pounds.
Come on.
It's not just like I lost 10 pounds.
This wasn't a miracle, right?
Yeah.
There is science behind this.
Yeah.
Dedication, commitment, discipline.
Yeah.
You guys all have that. It's really not rocket science, right? We're going to show you how to get there. You guys just have to give us some effort. So, I think it's going to be amazing to see how people transform with something so simple.
Yeah.
And realizing that they don't have to kill themselves. They don't need a WOD or HIIT program or anything like that. They just need to come in here, lift weights, recover, and fuel their body correctly.
Yeah.
Right? And that they are just going to be night and day difference.
Yeah. I think you guys would be surprised how simple yet effective this really is.
And this is a tool you can carry on outside of Forge, dude, forever.
Yeah.
If you guys can figure out how to play with your diet and dial that in, even if you gain 5 pounds over Thanksgiving, you know how to get that off now. Right? The thing is, after years and years of holidays, people usually gain weight during the holidays. I'm going to. Michael's going to, the way we're going to eat this Thanksgiving. But they don't shed that weight, and they keep going. Next year, they gain another 5 pounds. Next year, they gain another 5 pounds.
Well, they always do this yo-yo thing, right? Where it's not sustainable. You're like, holy crap, I've gained weight. They go so extreme. They don't have a really dialed-in strategy. They're doing a fad thing where it makes them lose weight because it's so drastic. But then what do you do after that? Everyone counteracts and counterbalances, and they're back to where they were.
Yeah.
Yep.
So what we're trying to give you is a strategy that's very sustainable, very non-detrimental to your goals as far as your strength, and something you could do over and over, year after year, and you're not going to run into this issue where it's this yo-yo up and down, up and down, up and down.
And we want to change you,
Yeah.
right? Because at the end of the day, you're part of the Forge fleet, right? So act like it. Hold yourself higher. It's going to change how you look, how you feel. Just trust us. Trust the process. Trust the plan. If not, go join all these other gyms in town where no one's making results, right? That sounds terrible, but it's true, man. I follow all of them. I don't see any difference. You guys are better than that.
Call it like it is, man.
So
I think next week we'll officially
next
launch
week.
it. We'll get the sign-up sheet going. We're going to get everything as far as entry, all the rules, whatever, how we're going to set it up, all the standards.
You guys are going to track your stuff. And that stuff is going to be turned in.
Yeah.
Right? That's going to be your homework.
Yeah. You're going to have check-ins with us. So
because that's going to be a huge deciding factor who wins.
Yeah.
Right? And if we have people that tie, right, then we'll split.
Yeah.
Okay? But we are going to be super critical on who wins. These guys look pretty good together, but looks like this person didn't track for these 3 days.
Yep.
This guy won.
Yep.
More discipline.
Yep.
Yeah, there'll be a checklist of things you guys have to do. So we're going to hold you accountable. You're going to
it's going to gain momentum for 8 weeks. Right? It's not just this week we're focused on this, but next week we're not. It's going to be like, nope, A for this week, B for next week, A and B for the next week, plus C. So
yeah,
it'll be fun.
Yeah, no, for sure.
But I think that pretty much sums up our podcast.
That's the day.
We apologize for not having one for 4 months. We're going to get better at this, and
8 weeks.
we're going to be more disciplined about having podcasts.
Yeah.
That'll be our
Because
challenge.
we have a lot of people asking us for more content, so that is our challenge. For 8 weeks, we are going to give you guys some premium content and podcasts and actual tips that's going to change your life. So remember, at the end of the day, build yourself, conquer adversity, and repeat daily. Do these things for 8 weeks, and your body will change. Punch the mic.